And we are live. Welcome to another episode of AB Traffic Quick Talk. And today we got another fight prediction. Today we got Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. And as always, let's get right into the stats. Starting with ChrisEubankJr. ChrisEubankJr. is 35 years old. He is 5 foot 11 inches tall. He has a 72-inch reach. He has a record of 34 wins and 3 losses. And now for Conor Benn. Conor Benn is 28 years old. He is 5 foot 8 inches tall. He has a 68-inch reach. He has a record of 23 wins and 0 defeats. This one right here is going to be a big, fun fight. You got ChrisEubankJr. and you got Conor Benn. And if you don't know, their dads fought. And when they fought to a draw. So this is going to be like a generational fight. Their dads fought, and now the kids are fighting. This is going to be a good fight. The build-up been great. I'm a big fan of British boxing. They really root for their fighters. Even when they lose, they still root for them. They still behind them. You know, the Mayweather effect is really, really destroying American boxing. And what I mean about that is that once an American boxer loses, that's it. Their career is done. But in Britain, they still root for the guys no matter what. And I love to see that. Like I said before, both these guys' dads were former boxers, former champions. They fought each other. And now the kids are able to meet. Both these guys spent time in the amateurs. They have very similar records. Eubank Jr. went 24-2. Conor Benn went 22-2. After spending some time in the amateurs, they turned pro. Eubank Jr. was looking like a problem, but I felt like he was very inconsistent. Same thing with Conor Benn, very impressive record, but I just feel like he's not consistent enough. He's not fighting enough. Sean Porter on his podcast was talking about sparring Conor Benn, and he was very impressed with his speed, with his power. He was very athletic. So I'm happy to hear that Conor Benn is staying active, you know, especially now that he has a fight against Eubank Jr. But, you know, to step in the ring with a former champion like Sean Porter, you know, that's good work. Now for Eubank Jr., he's more like a counterpuncher. He fights on the back foot a lot. He likes moving back. And then you have Conor Benn, who's very aggressive, who's very explosive, always moving forward. So both these guys have the style to beat each other. It's just who's going to put it together to actually beat the other person. I feel like both these guys have the power to hurt each other. But when it comes to speed, I think it has to go to Conor Benn. And when I think about that, when I analyze that, I feel like Eubank Jr. might get overwhelmed with Conor Benn aggressiveness and his pressure and his speed and his angles. You know, Conor Benn doesn't just move forward. You know, when he's punching and he's a combo puncher. He doesn't just punch one or two. He's not looking for a big bomb. He's throwing 4, 5, 6 and moving. So is that going to overwhelm Eubank Jr. at 35 years old? But for ChrisEubankJr. Jr. being a counterpuncher, he could use Conor Benn's pressure to his advantage. He could time a really good punch, like a really good uppercut, and it would be lights out for Conor Benn. Eubank Jr. is going to need to outsmart Conor Benn. I mean, it's not about power. It's not about speed. He's going to need to trap him in a way. He's going to need to use his brains to win this fight. If Eubank Jr. just comes in there to fight and try to go head-to-head with Conor Benn, it's not going to be a good night for him. At 35 years old, you do not want to go head-to-head with a guy who's 28 years old and who's a pressure fighter. I'm sure you got the confidence. I'm sure you have the will. But when those bombs land, it just, your body can't absorb that much damage. Eubank Jr. has the height advantage. He has the reach advantage. So Conor Benn is going to come at him like a bull. So Eubank Jr. has to stay calm. He has to stay composed and really try to time his punches. I don't think the 4-inch reach advantage is really much for Eubank Jr. I mean, the way Conor Benn fights, he launches himself at you. So I feel like, Eubank has to really play it safe and keep his defense really tight. I think if Conor Benn could make this into a brawl, make this fight gritty and dirty, that would play in his favor. Now for Eubank Jr., he just gotta keep his distance and try to time his shots and just be precise and be very accurate. Make every punch matter because if you leave yourself open, Conor Benn will take advantage. Now for Conor Benn, he has to move forward. He has to try to overwhelm Eubank Jr., but has to be careful with those counters coming in. Eubank Jr. does possess the power to finish Conor Benn, so he has to be careful. He has to play it safe himself too, but if he plays it too safe, then you find yourself fighting on the outside with Eubank Jr., and you don't really want that. You want to be in the inside. So I feel like Conor Benn has to take a little more risk than Eubank Jr. in this fight. I think Conor Benn's style is just advantage overall against Eubank Jr. because he's not only just a pressure fighter, he's not just moving forward. But like I was saying before, he uses his angles very well and he knows how to come in and get close correctly. He's not just walking forward, he's cutting the ring very well. I feel like it just boils down to who has the better game plan on that night. If Conor Benn could use his advantages and if Eubank Jr. could use his advantages, it's going to be a good fight. And I'm not too sure who will win this fight if Conor Benn could use his pressure correctly and Eubank Jr. could use his distance correctly. It's just one of those fights. But now when you throw in Eubank Jr.'s age and you throw in that he's been finished before in the equation, now you see that the advantages for Conor Benn just starts increasing, and the chances of him winning this fight is kind of higher than Eubank Jr.'s. Now, before I look at the odds, because I've been waiting to look at the odds, I'm kind of itching. But for my prediction, I'm siding with Conor Benn. I think his aggressiveness, I think his pressure, I just like his style. I really like his style. I like the way he fights, and he's very explosive, man. But for Eubank Jr., I also like that style of moving back, being able to fight on the back foot is always good. Is always great because not a lot of fighters know how to do that. But I just don't feel like he has the speed and just he's just not accurate. He's not precise. He's not like he's not gonna time. He's not like a Terrence Crawford. Like a Crawford could time those big bombs like a tank. Tank doesn't need to throw 40 shots to finish a guy. He could look for that one big bomb. Eubank Jr. doesn't fight like that. He doesn't have that one big bomb. Like he needs to throw a little bit more. He needs to break you down. He's not gonna knock you out in one punch. It is what it is. So I have to go with Conor Benn for this fight. I think he's gonna be able to finish Eubank Jr. I don't think this is going distance, man. All right, so let's check out the odds. Wow. Okay, Conor Benn is the underdog. Wow, I'm surprised that Conor Benn is the underdog. Wow. I'm definitely putting $100 on this fight. I mean, I'm going for the upset. I'm going for the upset. Wow. Yeah, Conor Benn is the underdog, man. I mean, wow. Yeah, I'm betting for this fight. I'm very confident that Conor Benn will beat Chris Eubank Jr. I'm very confident. Hey, that's what the people say, right? Chris Eubank Jr. for the win. I'm not agreeing with those odds. I think Conor Benn has the style to beat him. I just don't see Chris Bank Jr. at 35 years old beating this guy. I don't see it. I'm excited for this one. The odds made me even more excited for this fight. I cannot wait. I'm still rooting for Conor Benn. I'm sticking with him. I'm picking him to the end. I don't care. Win or lose, I'm gonna make a reaction after the fight, win or lose. But that's all I got for you. Don't forget to drop a like, a subscribe, a comment, a share, do all that good stuff for me. Until next time.